Welcome back. This is the Weekend Report. I am Masechaba Mposwa. Standard Bank Young Artists Program has announced its 2025 honorees. Now, this year marks the 40th anniversary of these prestigious awards, a landmark event presented in partnership with the National Arts Festival. This year's recipients include visual artist Nyakallo Maleke, theatre performer Calvin Ratladi, poet Modise Sekhothe, dancer Asanda Ruda, and trombonist Siyasanga Charles and musician Muneyi. We're now joined by two of the honorees, Muneyi and Nyakallo Maleke, to talk about their work and what this award means to them. Good morning, Nyakallo. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Good morning, Masechaba. Thank you for the invite.
And good morning to you, Muneyi. Welcome back. It's good to chat to you once again. Congratulations.
Morning, thank you.
Good morning. Nyakallo, I'll start with you. I mean, it's been said that you use your drawings to tell stories, and I've seen that in your work. In what way do you tell stories, and what stories do you tell through your artwork?
Okay. So my practice is very, it draws from a very personal perspective as a point of departure. So a lot of the stories that I represent in my work come from personal relationships, or rather the way a person moves or migrates in different spaces, public and shared, interactions, conversations that I have with people, in intimate spaces as well, yeah. Yeah.
Let's expand on that a little bit more before we go to Muneyi. Now, you studied in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, right? You were an alumni at the Asiko International Art School. You also studied in Switzerland, where you earned a master's degree in public sphere.
Yes.
Could you explain to us what that means and how you apply that into your art?
Sure. So the Masters of Arts, it's a Master of Arts in Fine Arts, and it's specialized in making work in the public space. And so it was a 2-year program where we were practice-based, studio-based, meaning that I got to engage with making art in the public. And that language visually transcended beyond like just working in isolation in the studio, but being immersed in the public space, working with and allowing a larger public audience to engage with your work.
That's incredible. Now, Muneyi, you are no stranger to the Weekend Report. It's good to chat to you once again. Now, for those who are not privy to your journey, could you tell us about your inspiration as a musician? I mean, you incorporate folklore and storytelling into your own artwork. What was the inspiration for the kind of music that you make today?
Oh, it's so lovely. Also, it's good to be back. My biggest inspiration, ultimately is people. I think I shared that with Nyakallo. It's people and the way in which we live, but also really trying to focus on all spheres of who we are as people. And I think what I've done, or the work that I've shared, has mostly been about what's happening on the inside. It's been more intrinsic. So looking at issues such as grief and loss and loneliness, also love and healing. So those are the themes that inspire me, but mostly from a human perspective and how we interact with each other, looking at who we are as people, our differences, how other people do things differently. Those are like the common themes that you'll see running through my work.
When it comes to your identity, because it really comes through sharply in your work, how important is language and culture in what you do?
It's very, very important to me. I think as a Movenda, it's particularly important because, there's underrepresentation. I remember sometime in COVID, I was at a show and someone was really concerned that I was stuck in South Africa and then I couldn't go back to Venda, as if it's a different country. And that's sort of the feeling that I feel when I look at media, when I look at, the world around me. It feels like there isn't much representation. For me, it's really important to write in my home language also as a way of preservation, to preserve the language, the dialect, the heritage, and the way of doing things. That's really, really important to me. And how it started is I was actually just making a project, dedicating it to my grandmother, and I wanted to make it in a language that she would understand. But then while making that, I realized this is actually important work, even beyond just honoring this one person.
Now, speaking of honoring, you have been honored in a big way in this through the Standard Bank Young Artist Award. As a winner, you can explain to us your process as an artist in light of being recognized on such a big platform.
Yeah. I mean,
Nyakallo.
Sure. So ever since finding out about the award, it's been a very surreal sensation over the last couple of weeks, and it feels very affirming. It feels like the hard work is finally paying off. Especially working independently, and I also acknowledge so many people who've played their role in building like this moment. And my process of making, it's really been conversational, collaborative, and a lot of the drawings I make come from a very intuitive place. And I'm very thankful for just how all these different moments that my work has existed in, it's been received and handled with a lot of care and a warmth and love and vulnerability and truth. I think that's one of the things that I'm grounding the practice in, is that it's sincerely rooted in being honest. Yeah.
I love that. Now, coming to you, Muneyi, what does this award mean for you? I mean, you're a 2025 Standard Bank Young Artist Award winner.
Wow, I think the more I hear it, the more it just sinks in, because, in the beginning, it was just shock and not really fully grasping what it means. But firstly, it is a big honor. Like, the award as an honor, it does feel like a big honor. And secondly, it feels like a huge stepping stone, knowing that I have the support of a big organization such as Standard Bank and the National Arts Festival as well, to be able to showcase work. And because they're such big organizations and it's such a big space, and it's a legacy space that's existed for, I guess, 40 years. I know there's people watching, people that I would want to, I want their gaze on my career. I want them to look at what I'm doing. And I know that that gaze will help propel me forward as an artist, especially. I always say that living on this continent where things are really difficult, living in this country as an artist where things are really difficult, it's important, I think, for me to be recognized by these stakeholders. So it's such a big honor, and I can't wait to use the bank's money to propel my career forward.
I love that. You use the bank's money. Enjoy it too. You've earned it. Thank you so much for your time, Muneyi, and thank you so much for your time, Nyakallo.
Thank you, Masechaba.
All right, so that was this year's Standard Bank Young Artist Awards recipient, musician Muneyi, and visual artist Nyakallo Maleke.